Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Yes. Let's get into it. So if you are somebody who is like subscribed to this thing, well, first of all, thank you so much for tuning in and all that good stuff. But I'm sure you noticed that this episode is dropping early in the week. This episode is dropping today, which is November 12th, because guess what, y'all? It's my Podiversary.
Absolutely. Okay.
Shout out to Baylor. Listen, y'all, it is so wild to think about the fact that I have been podcasting for 5 years, and for the first 4.5 or 4 3/4 year, I never missed a week. We know I took probably about a month, might be a little bit less, but we'll just say I took a month off from August, September, but that is it. And that's crazy. And like, so much has changed in the last 5 years, but what I love is that I have come full circle with no visuals on the show. And it's interesting because I actually really like this. It's really low pressure. I don't even have to turn on my computer. I just turn on my Rodecaster. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing, even though I'm usually dressed, but if I wasn't, it wouldn't matter. I could be on my Bonnet Bay tip, and it's so low pressure, and I feel like I can talk about whatever. I've always been that way where I talk about whatever on here, but I don't have to look at myself while I'm saying it. You know what I mean? I don't have to think about my background, even though my background was never crazy, but and I'm in my new living situation where I have roommates and stuff, and I mean, my room is always clean because I am just the type of person that I don't do well in chaotic environments. So like, my room is very much put things back where you got it from. At most, there might be something left out on my desk, but other than that, bed is always made, all that. But the way my desk is set up and the angle that the computer would have and whatnot, I just really don't know. I don't know, because I there is a way I could do it a little differently, but I don't feel like it. I love this low pressure, and man, when I think about honestly where things were 5 years ago, like versus where things are now, so much has changed in my life. Like, all my kids are grown and gone. I'm a nana, and he just turned 1 on November 4th. So that's crazy. And
at the time of this recording,
today we're going to go out and celebrate his birthday. You know what I mean? And so it's just wild how much has changed in these last 5 years. I think what I'm most excited about more recently is that I'm back to writing. Like, I've been writing little short poems, so nothing too crazy. And that's been pretty exciting because it's writing is always going to be my first love. Like, I love this show. I love that aspect of talking things out, but I love writing because I get to just kind of formulate my thoughts in a different way. And so that's been pretty exciting. And yeah, it's been such an interesting season, even where, like I said, I think last week, I just feel like so much joy has returned to me, and I've just really been almost fighting to keep it. Like, definitely things would come up to try to, like, I don't know, get me off track or whatever, and I'll just kind of quickly process it and move forward, because, man, grief just put me in such a dark place, and I just don't ever want to go back there in life. Like, somebody else could die, something else tragic could happen, because that's life, right? You don't know what's going to happen, but I don't ever want to go back to that space. Like, so yeah, I also have, really been, even if I just go to the gym and just do the air runner and the bike, or just do the air runner just to get something in for 30 minutes because I can't make a class, I've just been really a little bit more intentional with that, and pretty consistently. Now, granted, I did get sick, and that kind of threw things off for a little bit, but now that I'm feeling better, yeah. And then I am even back to try to cook more. Like, when I moved, like when we all parted ways and I was living with my friends for really almost a year, they cooked dinner and we ate together as a family, and I did not have to cook. And so it's been interesting being back in I have roommates, but we all do our own grocery shopping and do our own separate cooking. And so it's been really interesting. I'm like, okay, let me get back to cooking, because I was really like eating sandwiches and just all this stuff because I just didn't feel like cooking. I also, if I'm honest, I don't know how to cook for one person. So, and so then I started with just like making breakfast foods, which breakfast food is my favorite, but I'm really trying to increase my protein. And so with that, I really gotta start cooking more. So that's cool. I mean, I went so many years cooking in my adulthood because I had to cook for myself and cook for kids, and I moved out at 19. So like, I don't know. So it was a nice break, I guess, not having to cook for about a year, but okay, it's time to like get my life back together in that regard. So yeah, it has been, man, 5 years. Like, I just think about the job I had then. I can remember where I lived. I remember being in the closet and calling that the studio with the blankets up, and I started with the setup, recording using my iPhone and having a little mic I bought on Amazon that plugged into my iPhone. Like, I remember all that. Then going to, the visuals and whatnot. And like, I could do that, but I just don't want to. Then I remember when I got the Rodecaster, and I love that because I don't have to even like turn my computer on to record. Just turn on the Rodecaster and it's easier, right? And so I just think about the progression in the last 5 years, going from raising kids that were still at home to everybody is out doing their thing. And now it's time for me to really figure out who I am as just a woman. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still a mom, don't get me wrong, and a nana, but my days are not consumed by my kids' needs. And so that's been interesting. Just like, who am I? What do I enjoy doing? I'm also realizing there's so much I don't really know and need to grow in with relationships outside of my kids, because so much was just invested in them. And that's good. I did what I was supposed to do. Plus we had, a lot of traumatic things that we went through, like when their dad died and stuff. And so it's just an interesting season where I'm just finding myself like, okay, So this is real. Like, they're really gone and nobody's coming back. Okay, cool. So now what type stuff? And then y'all, yeah, it's been, I'm past the, like, I remember for a while I cried about them being gone, but I'm past that, and I'm more like, because this is what you want. Your kids are supposed to move out, grow up, become independent, and start, I'm sorry if y'all could hear that noise in the background. Somebody is, I don't know what they doing, honestly, but I apologize. Hopefully I can edit it out, but if not, I'm sorry. But yeah, like 5 years, like, I love that I have 5 years of my life documented. I've definitely grown more in being vulnerable, especially with, the community that I am so deeply immersed in right now with work, church, and even my roommate, because one of my roommates, we work together, and then the other, she goes to our church. There's 3 other girls that live here. And so, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's just such an interesting season of life that I'm just starting, really. I've only been here, I think I moved here in September. So this would be just starting the 3rd month, I think. Because I know it wasn't, and maybe it was August. It might have been August. I don't remember. Like, what is life? What is time? I think it is August I moved in. Because it's like, it's a 3-month lease where you commit to being here 3 months. And then after that, you can stay if you choose to. But then if you realize, like, it's not a good fit or whatever, you don't have to be here a whole year. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure I moved in August, because I remember thinking that November was 3 months. Like, even though I don't plan to go anywhere, but I just remember, now that I think about it, having that thought process. So yeah, y'all, I don't really have much. It's been I don't know, just trying to get better. I'm glad I kind of still have a cough here and there that's a little bit lingering, but I usually have that after I get sick, but everything else is pretty much done. So I'm glad to be just feeling better. And then, with work, we have a lot that we're doing to just prepare for Christmas Eve. And we have this end of year in review encounter that's online. But this is something that we record in advance and then stream it on YouTube. And then, like, we'll all be engaged in the chat and stuff like that. And so with that, there's preparing for that and stuff like that. So it's kind of a busy season, but it's like a consistent busyness. Like, we had a music video shoot last night for some worship and stuff like that. So it's been a really kind of eventful week, because we had Tuesday, Wednesday, and last night, because
at the time of this recording,
it's Friday. And so, like, we had a pretty busy week this week. We rarely have weeks where it's like literally back-to-back stuff like that. But for me, and I was talking to my boss about this last night, for me, that stuff is life-giving, because like Tuesday and Wednesday, I wasn't really involved aside from Tuesday I took photos, and then Wednesday I didn't even have to do that, but I just kind of was there to kind of like be there if needed for the content team. And so what I love, though, is I get to be in environments where worship is happening. So like for me, it's life-giving. And then for last night when we had the music video shoot, I love stuff like that. First of all, it's being in an environment, again, where worship is happening. But then 2, I love the creative. I love the good Lord. I love the creative process so much, and I love getting to be a part of from start to finish. And I don't necessarily, like, I don't edit the videos, but being a part of it and then getting to see the finished product, oh my gosh, I can't even explain to y'all like how satisfying that is. Really fulfilling is probably the better word. And so I love that. And so that's like life-giving to me, even though Thursdays are typically long days. If we have creative team stuff in the evening with that, which that's usually like the day we have, you know, different stuff. So yeah, Thursday is a long day because I have a Zoom small group that I lead at 7:00 in the morning. So I usually get up like 5 something because I'm very big on trying to have my quiet time before I do any meetings or anything like that. And it's funny because, you know, I was up maybe till midnight last night because I had something that I still needed to do when I got home. And I remember saying, okay, because, you know, Friday's my day off. And so I'm not going to go to the gym today. I'm going to go tomorrow instead. Sometimes I'll go on Fridays and sometimes I won't, because I just want Friday to feel more relaxed and like not rushed. I want to be able to enjoy as much time really to myself, or not necessarily to myself, because I'll plan like fun stuff with my friends and stuff like that, or even my kids. Like today is when we're going to celebrate Zaire's birthday. So like I'll plan stuff like that, but I like to just have it feel low pressure as far as whatever. And so since I already have something that I'm doing later, I'm not going to go to the gym today. I'm going to go tomorrow. I've already gone 3 days this week, which is actually really good. So then tomorrow will be a 4th day. So that's actually what's up. But with that, my roommates are usually like, one of them, she works with me, but when we're off on Friday, she's usually gone. She has a cabin, so she'll go stay at the cabin. The other 2, they work the typical, like, not 9 to 5, but basically Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So they're at work. And so I'm in the house by myself until, for sure, like usually 3 or 4. No one usually comes home before that. And so that's nice for me as well. So I like to just enjoy as much of my day off as possible. So yeah, excuse me, not going to go to the gym today, but still, I, just slept. I was like, why did I even bring that up? Okay. So when I went to bed last night, if you're new here, hey, I'll just ride my train of thought. So, when I went to bed last night, I did not set an alarm because I was like, I'm just going to sleep until I wake up. I knew I wouldn't sleep super late. And it's funny because I did first wake up at 5 something and I was like, no, we're not doing this. And so then I went back to sleep and still then woke up at 7. So my body is just so used to getting up earlier now, which I love because I get to enjoy more of the day. Man, I'm just really hoping y'all not hearing. I think somebody's mowing their lawn. I don't know what's happening. So I apologize if you can hear that. It's actually irritating me. But yeah, I didn't set an alarm and I was just like, I'm going to wake up when I wake up. Just wanted today to be like literally as go with the flow, except like I said, we're going to celebrate Zaire's birthday today. But outside of that, if something spontaneously happens, that's awesome. But I really don't have any other plans. I am doing laundry just because, I don't know. It's funny. I used to not want to do laundry on my day off, but for whatever reason, these past couple weeks, I kind of like it better. Maybe it's because it feels low pressure because I'm not doing anything else today. Like I used to actually do it on Mondays because Monday we have so many meetings that I don't usually use Monday as a get a ton of tasks done. Some I will, but I usually focus on Monday being meeting heavy. And so I used to do laundry on Mondays, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I shifted it to Fridays. So other than that, yeah, it's really a low pressure day. So yeah, y'all, this is the episode for this week. There won't be another one that will drop on Friday because if anyone knows, I usually drop the anniversary episode on the 12th, regardless of what day it is. Previously, I would do an extra recording, but now that I'm back to the rhythm of kind of recording in advance and then having it release on the day, I don't know that I really want to try to record again to have something drop next Friday. So, and it's funny because I've had so many rhythms with recording, and really, here's what I will say as I reflect on the past 5 years of not just podcasting, but life and like all the changes and all the different things that I've done in different seasons and this, that, and other. It's really always about being open and mindful of the season that you're in, holding certain things with open hands, and letting go of the things that you need to let go of when you need to let go, or shifting or doing whatever. It's really about not really being so caught up in like the routine in and of itself, like for the sake of routine, but just having different rhythms. That's a word we use a lot. And it's what I like about rhythms is rhythms. When you think about music, the rhythm can shift within a song and it not be this jarring thing. You know what I mean? And it can have, different this, that, and maybe rhythm isn't the right word because I'm not going to pretend I know a ton of music terms. So for those of y'all that do, and I might be way off with how I'm viewing this, don't come for me, okay? Because I just said I don't really know. But my whole point is that, like, the beat, we could say, could shift within a song and it not be this very jarring thing if it's done correctly. But the overall goal is to have a beat, right? And so, yeah, I have had so many rhythms with just different things. And even on my fitness journey, I have had so many different rhythms to try to just keep towards the goal. And that's the thing. Whatever the goal is, that's the goal. And sometimes you have to shift and pivot and do all these things so that whatever your current circumstances are can allow you to still work towards that goal. So if you stay married to the goal, is my whole point, instead of the routine. Because I remember I used to be like, okay, I want to go to the gym at 9 o'clock, right? And then if I couldn't go at 9 o'clock, I would be so married to the routine that then I wouldn't go. 9 o'clock isn't always realistic, or sometimes we have a meeting that pops up out of nowhere, or you have a phone call, or you just, anything can happen. But if I'm married to the goal of, you know what, it is really good for my physical, yes, but also mental and emotional health and my sleep, which is a part of physical, for me to be working out really 4 days a week is actually better, because I realized I don't really need to have more than 2 days pass without me working out. And then technically yesterday, like, I was dancing while we were at this music video shoot. So that's a form of cardio, you know what I mean? And so my body was still moving. So technically we could say I worked out yesterday, but regardless, I don't need to go more than 2 days without a workout. And so I'm realizing 4 days is probably a little better. But I've become a lot more flexible with, okay, I just need to go today. Like one day, I think it was this week. Yeah, Monday, it didn't work for me to go in the morning. So I actually, or the early afternoon, I should say. So I actually went after our last meeting, and that's actually what I needed to do because I needed to burn off some anxiety that I suddenly started feeling. And so, yeah, that is my encouragement. Like, be married to the goal, not necessarily the routine, but establish your routine or your rhythms so that you can achieve whatever the goal is. And yeah, just be married to the goal and to having rhythms to, achieve your goal. So, as always, make sure you take care of yourself mentally. Make sure you take care of yourself emotionally, spiritually, physically. Celebrate your milestones. Like, I always have a Podiversary episode, or I tend to celebrate just different things in life because, one, I remember when I started podcasting and there are people that like no longer podcast that I met on Twitter in the indie podcaster community when I used to be heavily involved on there. And there are people that no longer podcast, that they were shows heavy in my rotation that, so there's that. But then also research shows that especially when you have like a long-term goal, it's really important to celebrate milestones along the way. So have these checkpoints of, you might not be to the goal yet, but hey, you've accomplished A, B, and C, because it really just helps to solidify whatever the behavior is that like caused you to celebrate. Like, have a reward system, because then it just tells your brain like, ooh, I like whatever your reward is. I want to get this reward again. So that means I need to continue to do what I did to be able to, get this reward. So yeah, be healthy in your relationships as well. Like, that takes vulnerability. It takes work. It takes grace. It takes understanding. It takes communication. Like, relationships are not always easy. I almost argue that they're never easy. I'm not saying they're always like toxic or whatever, but a lot of vulnerability that goes into that. And so, yeah, if you're still listening, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for